Welcome. This is HR That Works President Don Phin, and in 5 minutes I'm going to give you a snapshot understanding of pre-hire fit for duty exams. Now, the last thing a company wants to do is hire a work comp claim. And I've had the wonderful opportunity of not only speaking to many companies, but many work comp insurance brokers all around the United States for many years to help their clients lower the work comp modifier, which is basically how you finance your work comp insurance. And one of the ways we do that is make sure we don't hire an injury in the first place. And so we want to do fit for duty exams, which of course includes a drug test, but also the ability, can that employee drive that truck 8 hours a day? Can that pilot's visual acuity help them to land the plane? Can that secretary do typing 6 hours a day? So we want to make sure people can perform. That's our main concern surrounding it. Now, in order to do a fit for duty exam, the Americans with Disability Act, which applies if you have either 15 or more employees federally, 5 or more in California, you have to give a conditional job offer, and that conditional job offer has to be conditioned on your being fit for duty. So for example, American Airlines got in trouble in a case in San Francisco where they're hiring flight attendants. Some men applied for it. They were given the medical questionnaire. They asked in that medical questionnaire whether they are HIV positive. And all 3 of the guys answered no. They then did the blood test, found out that they lied, that they were HIV positive, and said, we're not going to hire you because you tried to lie your way into the job. Now, generally, that's a valid argument of employers, but they blew it. And the reason they blew it is because part of their process included criminal background checks, and they had yet to do the criminal background checks. Plus, the court pretty much said that, listen, what's asking a question if they're HIV positive have to do with being stewards on planes? And so they thought that the questions were too broad in scope. The point is, make sure everything is done first before you send somebody for a fit for duty exam. Now, it begins with a medical questionnaire. And that can happen 2 different ways. Either they go to HR's office and they fill out the medical questionnaire, and the HR person looks at it and says, hey, is there something on here that concerns me that I need to send them down to the physician for an exam? Or they go directly to the physician's office and fill out that questionnaire and have an exam no matter what. I prefer taking the second approach. For 2 reasons. Number one, I don't want my HR people playing around and making medical decisions when they're not doctors. Plus, they can't get people to pick up their shirt, see if they got scars on their back, all that kind of stuff. They can't delve in, and they shouldn't delve into medical history that a doctor. Doctor has a very broad scope of getting into somebody's medical history. So I'd rather send them to the doctor. Now, when they do the exam and report the results of it, it should be limited to that person's ability to do their job. So let's say somebody has a deep psychological history. That's none of your business. The only question is, can they type 6 hours a day? Can they lift the 50-pound boxes? Can they land the plane with that vision? And so you want to be very clear. Now, if somebody has a limitation, let's say they're permanent stationary on their shoulder from a previous work comp claim at 15 pounds, and therefore they can't lift the boxes, or they're limited in their typing because of carpal tunnel at 2 hours, or that they have to wear specific protection or eyeglasses to have that visual acuity, but in your job they have to wear a helmet where they can't wear those glasses. So then the question is there somehow a way to accommodate this person so they can do the job they were hired for? Not a different job, but the job they were hired for. And that's where you get into the ADA accommodation issue question. Plenty of resources on HR That Works for that. We also encourage everybody to go to the Job Accommodation Network that has plenty of resources there. Just type in JAN in Google and you'll get there. And lastly, if you don't go through this accommodation process, if you're required to do so, you may end up getting hit not only with an ADA claim, but a work comp retaliation claim, even if you weren't the employer that they filed the original work comp with. So those are some things to be concerned about. Below here, you'll see a sample conditional job offer on HR That Works in the hiring section. There's a whole bunch of other forms that you can take a look at. And if you ever have any questions, don't hesitate to pick up the phone or give us a call. There's also, by the way, a report I did on pre-hire physicals and along a video on HR That Works. Take care. We'll see you on the next webinar.